Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to be talking all about frugal living and just some tips and tricks that I'm taking to live a more frugal lifestyle. I know everyone has really felt the cost of living increasing and our wages aren't really changing. So, you see your private health insurance goes up, you're seeing school fees are getting more expensive, clothes, groceries, everything is going up and our wages aren't really changing to sort of trend with the current increase in living. So for myself and my family, we're definitely taking some steps to live a more frugal lifestyle. So I want to take you along on my journey. We are trying to become debt-free and just live a more frugal lifestyle so then we can feel, that less financial burden on us and, put that sort of behind us and move forward. So follow along and I'll give you some tips and tricks on what I'm currently doing to help us live a more frugal lifestyle. So step number one, this can be a hard one, saving on beauty products. So first of all, I'm going to say good morning. I did miss that out before. In my jammies, I've done a little bit of light makeup, about to do my hair. So let's talk about beauty products and beauty services. So I guess that's probably a big way that I'm saving a lot of money and contributing to our frugal lifestyle. So things like not getting my eyebrows done anymore or facials. I do everything myself. I organize a little spa day for myself on a Sunday or midway through the week. I'll put in some time to do a face mask or, a nose strip or something that just makes me feel like, I'm giving myself that same beauty service but at home at the fraction of a cost. I definitely still get my hair cut at the hair salon, but probably only 3 times a year because my hair does grow very fast. So I guess with the way the industries really work with beauty products now, we are pulled into all these different skincare products. Like sometimes I was putting layers of different serums on my face, my hyaluronic acid, my vitamin C, my retinols, my moisturizer. And then, brands that I really liked would put new products out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to save that. So I still had all these other products I was trying and then I was getting some more. So I really put a stop on that about a year or 2 ago. And I've just been I have culled it down. So I did use all the products until, they were used and run down. But I was really able to find the products that worked for me. So I've culled it down to what is also affordable, but also works for me. So being frugal isn't just buying the cheapest product out there, it's buying like what works for my skin as well. So I didn't go for big, extravagant, expensive brands. I did buy things that were within, a price range that is affordable for me. And once I've used it, I replace it. So culling down your beauty products to just what you need and then only replacing it or once you have run out of that product is a really good way to save some money. So with my hair, not everyone has to do this, but I don't get my hair dyed at the salon anymore. I got them to match it as close to my natural hair color as possible. I did have foils, so it can get a little bit brassy, but I use a purple shampoo. So to me, buying that toning purple shampoo to take any brassiness out is saving me so much more than what it did going to all those hair salons before and spending, up to $300 Australian on that hair service. So now I spend $65 3 times a year for my haircut, and then I get my toning shampoo when I run out of it and use that just to touch up any of the brassy spots on my hair. So I've really found, wow, I look sort of like a cockatoo. Let's fix that up a bit. So just looking at those beauty services and ways that you can save. The next tip would be not going into any more debt. So it is what it is. We have some debt we need to pay off, but making sure we stay strong and not go into any more debt is definitely a huge goal we are taking so then we can live a more frugal lifestyle. So what we have done is we have saved 1 month's expenses. So that was really tough. We were still paying all our other debt, but we just buckled down really, really hard. And, some weeks were better than others. Some weeks we didn't even save anything. But we calculated mainly my husband's wage because he's the breadwinner for the family, and we put aside 1 month living expenses. So if anything pops its head up, we're able to stay more consistent with paying off our debt. So what we've done is we've been guilty in the past for putting concert tickets or holidays on credit cards. And it just felt like we were always wanting to go do fun experiences with good intentions because, you want your family to have experiences, but it was coming at a cost where it was causing, daily and weekly stress when your wages would come in and you're trying to pay off that debt and, you don't have any extra to pay off it. But I think it's just not worth that ongoing stress. So what we've done is save that 1 month expenses, and then now we're able to start really saving and putting money off our debt and getting rid of it. So short term for the long term, it's actually an exciting opportunity when you can see things are happening. So just really saving up that 1 month expense, whether you save that with a bonus that you have coming up or your tax return that comes, you can put that money aside. Maybe there's some things in your home you can sell, but just having that 1 month expense really allows you to be able to be consistent with paying off your debt. So if any emergencies or anything pops up, you've got that 1 month expenses there to sort of help you so you can stay consistent and start to see the light of day. So my next tip for our frugal lifestyle and what we're doing to help us pay off debt and live a more frugal life is having a fun allowance. So this will be different from person to person, family to family, whatever your lifestyle situation is, but come up with an amount that you can put away into an account each week. And as it adds up over time, you're able to use that money to go do something fun. So a way that we really utilize that account well is just by making sure we are also frugal with the fun thing that we are doing. So as I previously mentioned, we were taking things to the extreme and putting concert tickets and holidays on credit cards. And this for us wasn't very beneficial because we also live a long way away from where these events were. So we're having to pay for accommodation, food, all that sort of stuff. So just for the meantime, just to get us through while we're knocking away that debt, we are making sure we go to movies or, we go to games of bowling or we go to trampoline parks or out to dinner with friends, but we just make it a little bit different. So what we do is if we go to the movies, we will make sure that, we're full before we go. So we'll always make it a time just after lunch, just after dinner, and we'll make sure when we get there, each person gets a drink or they bring their bottle of water and we get popcorn because, popcorn's just part of watching a movie. We also make sure it's a movie that everyone is interested in. So we're not just going for the sake of it. Another thing would be bowling. So people go bowling, they buy the pizza, they buy the wedges, they buy all the drinks. So instead of doing all of that, we just go play the game of bowling. So yet again, we'll do that fun fake away at home. We'll make pizza, we'll make some burgers and, make it a fun little weekend event together. Another way would be also if you're going out to dinner with people, making sure you're not going out completely starving, having something small to eat before you go out and maybe getting a large family pizza and a large pasta and sharing that between the four of you instead of everybody getting their own main meal and, getting entrees and dessert and lots of soft drink. I think just making these small sacrifices can really help things work out in the long term. So have your fun account. Don't go over it. You can only use what's in there. Make a game out of it. And I'm sure that this is a way that really worked for me and my family. Another really great tip that I am using to live a more frugal lifestyle is by budgeting and rebudgeting. So you really need to make sure that if you are on your own or you are, you have a partner, that this is something that you're doing together, because if everyone's not on the right page, it just doesn't work. So my husband and I really like to sit down and we rebudget from time to time. So everything's going to change because we are paying off our debt. So there are times where, you pay off something and you freed up a little bit more money. So making sure that that money is not just going back into your daily expenses and that you're actually utilizing that to pay off something else. So I guess like an example would be you had a $60 a month credit card payment. You finally achieved your goal and paid off that credit card. So now what are you going to do with that $60? So that's where you need to have your time, sit down and rebudget and work out how you're going to make that money work better for you. Another situation would be you get a pay rise at work. Now, that's something that you never had before. So you want to make that money work for you. So coming up with a way to make that money work for you, that's where you sit down and you rebudget again and make sure you utilize that money to reach your goals faster. So that's a little tip that I'm just so passionate about with this frugal living. Like I said, I think once you put the fun into it and see your goals being achieved, it actually makes it more fun. Whereas before I was seeing it so stressful because I couldn't really see where that money was going because there was no plan in place. So it just felt like I was going around in circles, making the minimum payment on everything. And it honestly put so much stress into it. So just changing the way that we do things and, living by that frugal method in lifestyle, which I think can be used in so many different ways, but using it in a financial way, you're able to see things a lot better. So just achieving my goals by, rebudgeting and looking at things as I achieve each goal has really been beneficial and quite exciting and fun. So my next real big tip to living a frugal lifestyle is really being accountable of our groceries. So making sure we do write a grocery list before we go to the shops and we only stick to that grocery list. So we have our items that we all love and like and work for our family, but we always are looking for ways to save a little bit of money. So I always go to Aldi first because they have better prices. I buy whatever I need and then I do the rest of my shopping at either Woolworths or Coles. So making sure I stick to the grocery list and only buy what is on there has been a way that we have really saved a lot of money. So we also have a time where we sit down once a week and everyone says what they want for breakfast, lunch, dinner and snacks, shop from our food cupboard first and create those meals around it and then write on the list whatever we need to fill in the gaps to make up all those meals. So it's been a real game changer for our family to really also make that a fun event, seeing how creative we can get with what we've already got and making sure we choose nutritional and good food for our bodies. So, not skimping on all the good things that we do need to make sure that our health is also in a really good condition and we can perform our best in our life as well. So my last and final tip for what we are doing to achieve this frugal lifestyle is finding goals and hobbies that don't cost any money. So for myself, my own personal goal is running. So I've downloaded an app that costs no money. I've used YouTube to research and find ways to look after my nutrition, my hydration, and good ways to stretch before doing a run. So all of that has cost me no money at all. I already have the joggers, I have the workout clothes, I have a beautiful neighborhood to run in. So that's just an example of what I'm doing. So there are so many other things you can do. YouTube is such an amazing place for free content that you can get to learn every workout that you want. You could do dancing, you could do yoga, you could do Pilates, you could do calisthenics. Like it is endless what you can do on YouTube. So just choosing something that keeps you happy and healthy and positive, because I know it can be really hard when you're cutting back on everything to pay off debt, but keeping, your eye on the prize and knowing that when you get to the end of this, it'll be all worth it. But let's just make sure we keep ourselves positive in the meantime, because I do know when you've gone from being someone that spends money to do fun activities, like, some people can't afford the gym membership or, things like that. Like it can just cost a lot of money to do even Pilates classes or some of these gym classes. So just finding ways to keep yourself positive and getting through this time, you will learn a lot and you will find other ways to live a more frugal lifestyle, and it will benefit you with your financial freedom in the long term. So please like and subscribe to my video. I'll share more content like this in the future, but my channel is all lifestyle, fitness, health, organization, frugal living. So follow along and I'll share all my tips and tricks in the future. Thanks guys. Bye.